Hey, what's happening, family? It's your man, Mark Black. You know what time it is. Welcome to Sucka-Free Saturday. Before we get into it, I just want to say right here, live on video, that my heart and my condolences is with our sister Ebony. I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your son. May he rest with our ancestors. If you feel like sharing the circumstances behind his loss, please feel free to do so. I want to lift him up. I want to lift you up. Shit. I'm really sorry to hear about that. Seriously. So fam, we got to have us a good conversation today. The topic is going to be on dealing and addressing police brutality. I've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of thoughts on it, right? But before we get into it, as per usual, make sure you check the links in the description field of every video. There's resources there, there's reports, there's all sorts of good shit. Any information that I want to make sure that is always available to you, I put it there in the description field for you, right? I found a lot of resources, so you don't have to. If you haven't done so already, consider becoming a patron of mine via the Patreon. Again, the amount is up to you. It's just showing your support. Also, I want to make sure to do my usual and give a shout out to everybody in the chat. So Engaging Black, peace fam, I see you. Michael Brown, I see you fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Shalom to my brother Tazabah. Quentin, I see you fam. Easy Be Easy, what's good? Sister Joan, peace. See you. Good to see you. Miss Denny's definitely in the house. Darker Visions is on the road, but checked in. Be safe out there, fam. It's good that you checked in with us. Diverse Tribe, I love that name. Welcome to the broadcast. Of course, Sister Ebony, and my brother, last but not least, my brother Black Man 903, representing. What it do, fam? What it do? So let us get into this discussion today, fam, because by the way, shout out to Sister Tiffany. Welcome to the broadcast. It's good to see you. We've seen a lot of different things going on. The death of our brother George has affected not just us, but a lot of people around the world. Of course, as you well know, there was the initial uprising, and I've made my points clear on the uprising, so I'm not going to discuss that anymore. Y'all know I support it, but it is what it is. By the way, shout out to Sister Black Magic. Peace and blessings to you, sister, and welcome to the broadcast. Sister Alexis is in the house. Beloved, it's good to see you. Welcome. And as time has progressed, we've seen a lot of different shit go on. We've seen statues get pulled down. We've seen paintings with Black Lives Matter, on streets and in front of buildings and shit. There's been some discussion about changes to the police, specifically in Minnesota and things like that. But the one thing that we haven't been seeing is we haven't been really seeing any substantive discussion around not reforming the police, not modifying the police, but ending those bastards' capability to do harm to us as ADOS, DACS, descendants of the enslaved in America, whatever you call us, our tribe. We have not seen any substantive discussion surrounding how to eliminate, not reduce, not make us 70% safer or 72% safer, but 100% safer at the hands of law enforcement. By the way, shout out to my esteemed fam, Zulu Black. Yes, it has been a while, but I'm glad to see you. So we're going to talk about it today, fam. Now, I'm going to need you, before we even get into this discussion, to put on your logic cap, okay? Because what I have to say will be controversial only if you don't follow logic. You understand me? If you are one of these emotional Negroes, one of these motherfuckers who can't set aside, what they feel about something and just simply look at the facts of the matter, this will be controversial. B1, and shout out to my brother John. Namaste, man. Welcome to the broadcast. We are going to talk about today a solution to the problem of police brutality in our community. By the way, shout out to Back to the Basics. I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Thanks for smashing that like button. Now, the solution I came up with, fam, and I'll be honest with you, when I tell it to you, it won't be original, but the way I say it hopefully will be. The solution I came up with was a solution that derived from the facts that we have in evidence. So before I get to the solutions, let us discuss the state of the reality of the matter when it comes to police brutality against our tribe in this country. Shout out to you, Polo. B1, fam, I see you. AB, I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Here's the facts of the matter. In this country, since the inception of the first police forces, we have been over-policed, brutalized, and murdered extrajudicially at the hands of either self-deputized individual whites or deputized individual whites and collective groups of whites deputized by the state or given power by the state apparatus. Shalom, young Judah. I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. From the inception of the first police forces in the United States of America, we have been consistently over-policed, disproportionately attacked, brutalized, and murdered, both de facto and de jure, meaning as a point of fact and by law. Okay? By the way, shout out to my esteemed beloved sister, Toolbox, also known as See the Sister, also known as Cut a Bitch P Smoke. Welcome, sister. I love you. Thank you for joining us today. That's the facts. When you look at the arrest statistics on the FBI website, what you're seeing is not evidence that our people are more prone to crime than anybody else. What you are seeing is evidence of the over-policing and the disproportionate use of force by these paramilitary, deputized state forces and individual vigilantes in our community. That's it, and that's all. The white supremacists like to throw up, well, blacks commit 50% of the murders and this, that, and the third. It's all bullshit. First of all, fam, in most jurisdictions, the closure rate on murder cases is in the 20 percentile range. So how is it that we're committing all the murders, all the crime, right? We commit 50% of the murders in this country when they can't even solve but 20% of them definitively. Again, fam, you're going to need to use your motherfucking logic box today. What up, Adrik? I see you, fam. Second of all, we've seen study after study after study that shows consistently that although whites and blacks commit crimes on par with each other, especially social crimes, we're talking prostitution, drug use, things like that, we are disproportionately sought after, arrested, convicted, and sentenced, incarcerated for these crimes. No one can dispute this. The police kill white folks too. Some white people will tell you, and this is true. The police do kill white people too. But if you look at the numbers, there are roughly about between 30 and 38 million of our tribe here in the United States. We're not counting the black immigrants, all right? No shade to no immigrants, but we're not counting you. We're just talking about our tribe. By the way, Zulu, good luck on your project, fam. In this country, there are over 200 and some odd million white folks. Let's say the police killed 352 white people. That's a lot of motherfuckers. And they kill 250 black folk. What do you think? Damn, they killed more white motherfuckers than they did niggas. But you have to look at the numbers. You have to look at proportionality based off of the population. They make up 5 times the population that we do. And yet we're over 4 times as likely to be killed by a law enforcement officer than they are. If you look at the numbers per population, we are disproportionate to our representation in the population being murdered extrajudicially by the police. Even though their numbers are higher, their numbers do not reflect the disproportionality. When you're killing fewer of us, but there are already fewer of us, you're killing more of us proportionally than you are to whites. Everybody tries to come at us with these numbers and twist us up, lie with statistics. It's all bullshit, fam. It's all bullshit. The facts on the ground is that things for us, when it comes to law enforcement, are where they always have been. They can literally come into our neighborhoods and attack us with impunity. They can beat us, plant drugs on us, extort us, and murder us. And most of the time, there will not even be any charges filed. We're still waiting in Louisville for the motherfuckers to charge the cops that killed our sister Breonna. May she rest. So, fam, here are the facts. We are consistently over-policed, treated as hostile non-citizens in our own places where we domicile, subjected to repeated acts of brutality, extortion, criminality at the hands of the people who are allegedly there to enforce the law. And there is no current repercussions for law enforcement when these things occur, when these things happen to us, when these things are done to us. They experience no current repercussions, whether on the federal level, the state level, or the local level. I know you heated, sister. Slow your roll. We're just looking at the facts. So now that we've analyzed the facts in evidence, there is clear evidence to support everything that I have just said regarding our interactions with law enforcement and our tribe, right? No one can dispute this. Now we can get into the discussion of a solution. Given the facts, there are three things that combined together will, in my humble opinion, as your brother and one who loves you, will solve the problem of police brutality against our tribe. I created an acronym. I call it DAD. D-A-D. Shalom, I see you, fam. The first D stands for disobey. The second letter, A, stands for arm up. And the third stands for defense. Defend yourself. Don't worry, we're going to go through each of them step by step. Because I'm going to build, as is my want, as the angry motherfucking black sheep, a chain of logic that is unassailable. So when you go full on dad, as I hope that we start to adopt as a people, there will be no one who can gainsay you. Disobey is the first thing. Let me break down for you what I mean. In this country, when we have interactions with law enforcement, I can tell you for a certainty, this is how the overwhelming majority of them go. They roll up on us and stop us because we don't usually tend to even give a fuck about the police until they say something to us. Okay? So they come up and they stop us, whether it's in our vehicle, whether it's walking on the sidewalk, whether we're standing in front of our domicile, whatever. They come and initiate an interaction with us. 99.999% of the time, we acquiesce to every single command they give us. If they say, hey, hold on a second, we stop walking. Or if they hit us with the siren and the lights, we pull over. Okay, so that's first part of the interaction. We actually acquiesce. We allow the interaction. Okay, so we pull over. Cops say, get out the car. We get out the car. Cops say, put your hands on the hood of the car. We put our hands on the hood of the car. Cop says, put your hands behind your back. We put our hands behind our back. We get handcuffed. Walk with me over here to the cruiser. We walk to the cruiser. We go to jail. We obey the law. We're not attorneys. But strangely enough, cops aren't either. They don't know every single statute, every single law on the books. Yet, the moment they initiate the interaction, the overwhelming majority of our tribe obey. Now, being that we are probably the singular most obedient group that the cops will ever have an interaction with, sure, we don't like it. Some of us will curse at the police officers. Man, what the fuck you pulling me over for? I wasn't speeding, right? But we don't do too much of that because we don't want them to take it as a sign of disrespect and commence the whooping on our ass. Those of us who still think that we have some degree of control over the interaction once we stop. We don't want to escalate it. And besides, What has many of us been told when we had a bad incident with a police officer, but we survived it? Our elders tell us, nah, young blood, live to fight their ass in court. So that's what you do. You acquiesce. You go to jail. Maybe they PR you. Maybe you bond out. And you go to court. And these police mistreated you. Smacked you up in the back of the cruiser. Searched your car illegally. The whole 9 yards. You got a good case for being able to have something done about these rogue officers. Isn't that right? So you go to court, taking your time off from work, losing more money on top of the fines and shit you've already had to pay, just so they don't come and lock your ass up again. And you go into court and you tell your story. And what the judge tell you? Judge says, well, the officer says X, Y, and Z in his report. Well, what that mean? Cops can lie legally. It's just true. Cops are allowed to lie to you. They're allowed to lie about the whole goddamn interaction. And simply because they have officer at the beginning of their name as a title and they fill out a piece of paperwork to hand to a judge, that automatically gives their word more weight than yours, regardless of what the interaction was like. So your mistreatment, your abuse at the hands of these lawless bastards goes unpunished. No repercussions. It usually doesn't even leave the courtroom. Don't go on the officer's record that you mentioned that you were abused, that you were hurt, that you were mistreated in some way, shape, or fashion. And that bastard walks to go do it to another one of us. The common thread, though, throughout everything that I just said was that you and I have been doing it all the right way. We've all obeyed. We've all acted as if they have the right to stop us, to ask us where you coming from, where you headed, what's your name. Now, I know I'm not talking about all of us, cool aunt, right? I shouldn't have to say not all, because there are some of us who run. Hell, I ran from cops for years. Fuck them. But even I have acquiesced to interactions with the cops. Even I have said, fuck it, I don't feel like running today, and I pulled over and gone to jail or whatever. The first thing that you need to understand in order to defeat police brutality is that we are going to have to do things that we have never done before to get something we've never had. You need to accept that right from the beginning. In order to have something that we've never had, we are going to have to do things that we have never done. And the one thing that I can assure you that our tribe has never done is we have never disobeyed the motherfuckers. Family, everybody in this country gets to be lawless. Don't believe me? The cops are bound by no law. No law. Here they are claiming to be the enforcers of the law, but they are not bound by any law. Not to mention the fact that the so-called law actually gives them a monopoly on violence. But do our white citizens acquiesce to that shit? No. Do Latinos acquiesce to that shit? No. The only thing we haven't tried is telling them to fuck their law. And I know what you're thinking. Brother Black, are you saying we should just willy-nilly go out and break the law? Yes. Yes, I am. Absolutely. I'm saying fuck the law. If the people, follow me now, follow the chain of logic. If the people that are in place that are supposed to be there to enforce the law are lawless, then why are you required to obey the law? Let me say that again. If the people that are there to uphold the law are lawless, why then are you required to obey the law? In the words of Morpheus, you've been living in a dream world, Neo. You've been living in a world where you think that because you obey the law, because you go ahead and agree to an interaction with a law enforcement officer, you go ahead and agree that it was bad that you were driving 5 miles over the motherfucking speed limit, that you agree that you maybe shouldn't have tried to pass off that bad check to the motherfucking grocery store to put some food in your refrigerator because you agree that that was bad, that they're going to agree that that was bad. And I am here to tell you that they will violate that law among many others and will not give 2 fucks about what you think about it. Every day, speak of my brother and he shows up. Shout out to my esteemed brother Morpheus. Them motherfuckers will go up in stores and pass bad checks. They will go up in stores and print off fake money and pass that shit. They will go up in there with grocery carts, walk and fill up the whole grocery carts. I know, I live in Whiteyville where I'm at. I've seen all the shady shit these motherfuckers do. They will walk up into a grocery store, fill up a cart full of groceries, and walk right out through an empty lane and go right out to the parking lot and dip out.
Speaking of Morpheus Lowell,
let me tell you something. White folks will forge fake documents to get bullshit loans from banks. White folks will defraud any and everybody they can for a come up. They'll bribe people in order to get their kids into school. These motherfuckers don't give 2 fucks about the law. If the governor says tomorrow, shut this goddamn state down, but the white folks say, nope, we don't want to wear no mask. We don't want to shut this shit down. We want to go and do whatever the fuck we want to do.
Preach, damn it.
Guess what happens? They go do it. And they dare the motherfucking police to come and do something to them. They dare them. These motherfuckers will burn down a business they own just to get the insurance money. We saw a lot of that during the uprising. How many people, by the way, hit a 1 in the chat if you know of anybody that was convicted of insurance fraud from the recent uprising. Go ahead. There is literally no one in this country.
I knew you were hot today. Hell yeah.
Thank you, cool Unc. I appreciate you, fam. There is literally no one in this country that obeys the law but you. And not only does everyone else disobey, but they count on your obedience for cover. Don't believe me? We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Believe it or not, your obedience gives cover for everybody else to be able to violate the law. That's my turtle in there. I got a slider. His name is Mr. T. He's a big ass pimp. That's who's in the aquarium. How are we aiding and abetting in the lawlessness of everybody in America? through our interactions with the police. Here's how. When you are a predator, right? Because all of the best lessons our tribe could ever learn comes from nature, right? We're not outside of nature. We are animals, right? We just mostly hairless, big brain, multiphalangic, bipedal apes. When you're a predator and it is time for you to feed, there are certain things that you look for in your prey animal. First thing you look for is something that's out of place. Something out of place. Something that don't fit right. That's why predators have really good vision. They see the animals that's standing off in the cut by themselves instead of being a part of the herd. Or they see the little albino one instead of the brown one that'll mix in with the grass, you dig? They look for the one that's the oddball. The one that's standing out. When a predator can't find one that's standing out, the next thing they look for is an animal that looks hurt, that looks injured. I apologize about the aquarium, fam, but T's my man. It got to be taken care of. You feel me?
Compliance fuels more lawlessness. Never had it explained like this before. Here, I'm learning today.
Oh, facts. I wish I could take credit for it back to the basics, but we've been knowing that it's the law that makes people criminals for thousands of years. Don't believe me? Just read your Bible. Paul said, without the law, I would not have known that I was a sinner, but knowing the law convicts me. That's why he told Christians that they were free of the law. Because it is the law that makes people criminals. But that's a whole nother broadcast. That's a different subject. I feel you. We're going to talk about that a different time. So the police predate upon us, like Zulu said. They look for the one that's outside. Thank you again, Brother Morpheus. I appreciate it. I'm gonna let that comment read out. Because, yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. But the predators look for the ones that stand out. They look for the ones that are gimpy, the soft targets, the ones that's got a gimp in their step, right?
I think I speak for most of us when I say the aquarium noise isn't a big deal.
They look for the ones that the herd has rejected. Because sometimes in a herd of animals, there's an animal that gets outcasted, that gets rejected. Either, they don't belong with that particular herd, or they've grown up and they need to go and be a part of a different herd. You know how it works. So once the predator finds the easy pickings, thank you, Warrior Scholar, that's when they attack, and not a moment before. Now, Ebony's right. We do need to ride in packs, but I'm talking on a larger principle here. When you are being predated upon, you really only have two options. One, you can fight and run, or you can get ate. Right? You either run and get away, or turn around and lower the horns, or you get ate. Because once that interaction ensues, there's only two ways that can turn out. We have clearly established that the police can lie to you. They are not under any legal obligation to protect or defend your rights. This is not by my saying. This is by the Supreme Court. And when they do interact with you, They're likely to predate upon you, whether it's planting some evidence in your vehicle or get their buddies to show up and whoop your ass, if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, they put a bullet in you. You dig? When I say disobey, I mean just that. And I don't mean just disobey the cops. I mean disobey America. Disobey it all. If there is no law for all of us, then there is no law for none of us. Point blank the goddamn end. If we can't count on justice in their courts, we can't count on justice in the streets, we can't count on justice anywhere if there is no law. If we are operating in a sphere of lawlessness, you are not only crazy to obey the law, but you are a fucking fool. So the first part of the solution is to disobey. You got kids that's supposed to go to school? Keep your kids out of school. Trump and them talking about sending your babies back to school with coronavirus running rampant. I wish a motherfucker would. You keep your babies out of school. When you drive down the street, go as fast as you can to get where the fuck you going as fast as you could possibly get there. When you go to the grocery store, if a few extra items happen to land in your cart but don't happen to go across the POS terminal, whose fucking fault is that? Ain't mine. I ain't your judge. They telling you you got to submit paperwork in order to rent your place. But if you don't submit that paperwork, you got to pay first, last, and a deposit. Well, guess what? That paperwork looked the same suspiciously as some paperwork that I found off the internet. They ask you what your income is, make up numbers. Everybody else do. You sitting here starving, but you go down to the motherfucking welfare office, the unemployment office, and this, that, and the third, and you answer every goddamn question with the right answer. Nigga, if you don't. When I say disobey, I mean just that. No more fucking respectability. There is nothing respectable about this spectacle of injustice under which we live. If we cannot have law and order for all of us, then there will be no motherfucking law and order for any of us. Catch me if you motherfucking can. Wasn't that a movie? That Frank Abagnale kid who was writing bum checks and holding himself out to be a pilot and shit? They turned that nigga into a hero. Now he's a consultant making legitimate money after stealing. Your black ass can't do that though, can you? Yes, you can. You make the motherfuckers catch you. Don't obey. Don't answer their motherfucking questions. Don't answer their questions. Lie. Lie like a fucking rug. Fam, I want you to get so practiced and so used to lying when you ask by anybody who's not our tribe some information that lies just roll off the tongue like water off a duck's back. You are under no obligation to give lawless, vile liars the truth. Or like Yeshua said, you don't cast your pearls before swine. Truth are pearls. Your name means something. Your location means something. The amount of income you make means something. It's information that gets bought, sold, and traded by motherfuckers who don't even ask your permission to do it. They just take your information and they sell it. But you think you under some obligation to be right, just, and truthful and honest with them? Fuck that. Disobey. And I don't mean some of the laws, I mean all of them. Now, Brother Black, how am I supposed to disobey the law, man? Them cops will come and get us. Now we need to talk about the A in dad. The A stands for arm up. Now, I could make this lengthy, drawn out, but I will simply say that regardless of any of your legal statuses, any of your current relationship statuses, and so on, if you are able to acquire a firearm, and I would prefer multiple firearms, do so. I don't care if you're a felon. I don't care if you can't vote. I don't care what your circumstances are at this point. Get a gun. Arm up. Arm up. You need firearms, fam. I'm sorry. Some of you are peace nicks. Oh, I don't want to kill nobody. Don't nobody give a fuck if you want to kill somebody. You think the person that wants to kill you is going to be like, well, they didn't really want to kill me, so I guess I'll be nice to them. No. So nobody gives a fuck about your desire for peace. See, here's the problem, fam. Black folk are the people that make the mistake of thinking that because we think a certain way, everybody else thinks that way too. I'll give you a case in point. With the exception of recently during the advent of the Rona, we've seen multiple mass shootings in this country. Multiple mass shootings. A lot of them in schools. Remember Sandy Hook? What was it, like 37 motherfucking kids got killed in Sandy Hook? Kids. You know, chillins. Younglings. A fucking tragedy. How many of the motherfucking white folks then had to get their guns up because of what happened? There's been mall shootings, school shootings, this, that, and the third. How many white folks have had to give up their guns because of that? How many programs that the government has instituted where they said, nope, nobody can have no more guns. Y'all good. Y'all don't know how to act with them. We taking them. When's that happen? Meanwhile, the overwhelming majority of our tribe never commit any criminal acts at all. Fam, I know that the white supremacists and their acolytes and their pets would like you to think that crime in black community is rampant, but it ain't. Even if you use the FBI's arrest statistics, not conviction statistics, but arrest statistics as any type of measure, and you take all of the categories of violent crime and you add them up all together of black folk and add up all the numbers, right? This many murders, this many, armed robberies, this, that, and the third. Okay? When you add it all up and then you take and figure out what percentage of our population are even arrested for crimes, you'll see that over 90% of us, as a matter of fact, it's like 96% of us aren't committing crimes. Yet they want to tell you that Micah was a criminal. They want to tell you that Cosmo was a monster. Just because you think that it's all right to be disarmed because you live in a so-called civilized society does not mean that everyone else thinks like you. Whenever some shit go down in America, whether it's a new president comes into power, whether it's, a congressional election, whether it's the motherfucking NBA draft. Thank you, Morpheus. I knew the number was high. It's like 97, 98%, something like that. I did the numbers a long time ago. Please check my facts. The overwhelming majority of us don't commit violent crimes.
It's actually 98% of us that don't commit violent crimes.
I want to share with you something about criminality. As many of you know, I am a trained paralegal, meaning I've studied the law. Am I a lawyer? No. Do I need to be? No. Fuck a lawyer. Paralegals do all the work anyway. There are two types of crimes that are recognized in the United States of America under our legal system. There are crimes that are called in Latin mala in se, that translates into crimes of things that are bad in and of themselves. Murder is a mala in se crime. Murder is bad. It's wrong because it's wrong. Rape is mala in se. It is wrong because rape is fucking wrong. But then you've got what are called mala prohibida crimes. And that translates into things that are criminal because we say they are. Prostitution is a mala prohibida crime.
That's why I go hard in the paint on ninjas who regurgitate Bob crime. It's an SWS cover tactic and nothing else.
Facts. Absolute facts. Prostitution is not an actual wrong per se, right? Nobody's getting hurt. One person's taking money, the other person's giving sex. Nobody got hurt in that exchange. But the jurisdiction under which you live, jurisdiction means the motherfuckers with the guns that say they run shit where you at. Say it's bad to be a prostitute or to procure the services of a prostitute. So you commit a crime just by going and buying some ass. Mala prohibida. It's bad because it's prohibited, not because it's bad. You roll up a fatty, and I don't smoke weed. I don't do no drugs, really, all right? But you roll up a fatty, and you fire up a big old fat ass spliff. You ain't hurting nobody. Maybe yourself. You might be hurting a bag of Cheetos, right? But the jurisdictions say that you rolling up a fatty spliff or some of that good is prohibited. So you just became a criminal just smoking the good. Now, I wanted to elucidate for you those two types of crimes because I want you to understand that Mark Black is not asking you to go and commit murder. I'm not telling you to go out here and be raping folk. There's shit that's bad because it's just fucking bad. I'm telling you to go out here and disobey every motherfucking thing else, like everybody else. And to ensure that you have the capability to do it, you need to be armed. Why, Brother Black? Why do we need guns? You telling us this is nicotine. It's a drug. So, yeah, I do one drug. But I don't smoke weed or, do cocaine or any of that crazy shit. I don't drink, none of that. Right? I just love my tobacco. And since I can't do that because that shit'll kill you, I do this. But I want you to disobey everything else. But in order to be able to get away with it, in order to be able to do it, you need guns. How many guns? Lots of guns. Everybody in your household need to be packing. I remember a joint I listened to with this West Coast rapper named Slim Capone. The Slim Capone said something that stuck with me so cold, I have never forgotten it. One of the coldest lines I ever heard in a rap joint. He said, it's a cold world. Niggas gotta supply their own heat. And it's true. America is an ice cold motherfucker. And if you ain't got no heat when the wind blow, I don't know what to tell you. By the way, shout out to my brother T-Pot. Peace to you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. I appreciate you, brother.
PACE to you, brother Mark.
It's a cold world, fam. Niggas gotta supply their own heat. I used to fuck with a group of folk, white folks, of course, because, you know, what geeky nerd black person hasn't been around a bunch of white folks? I used to fuck with a group of white folks that I consider now to be kind of right-wing libertarian types. But they called themselves libertarian capitalists, right? Anarcho-capitalists. That was their philosophy. I even used to write articles on their website and shit like that. Yes, I'm a writer. Deal with it. And one thing that I remember reading all the time in discussions of self and collective defense with these white folks is the adage that an armed society is a polite society. Now, I remember the first time I read that, I'm as nigga as they come. So I have to ask myself some questions because of my acculturation. How a bunch of motherfuckers carrying guns makes everybody be polite? And then one day it hit me like a ton of bricks why that was the case. Because if you got weapons and I got weapons or have the potential for weapons and you fuck with me, you can't know what I got. You don't know if you fuck with me, whether you going home or not. And so your interactions with me are likely to be pleasant because you do not want to run the risk of facing whatever I got for you underneath this belt. An armed society is a polite society. Now, I didn't say that an armed society is a nice society. It didn't say that it was a friendly society. It said polite. Politeness is the barest minimum of what we're owed as citizens. When you go somewhere, black man, black woman, you are to be treated like a mammal. Not called out your name, talked to all crazy, fobbed off on, verbally assaulted, microaggressed upon. No. Unless you are out there actively aggressing upon somebody, you're supposed to be treated with dignity, basic human dignity. But now, how can you assure that that's the case? Shout out to Queen Jet Black, by the way. I see you, sister. Welcome to the broadcast. You can assure that you're treated that way by making sure that you stay strapped up. And not only do you stay strapped up, but your mama stays strapped up, your auntie stays strapped up, your grandma stays strapped up, your kids stay strapped up, your motherfucking crazy ass uncle that everybody's scared of, get that nigga a gun too. Everybody needs to be having some heat. Because it's cold out here. And an armed society is a polite society. What does this have to do with police brutality? Remember, I told you that you're going to have to accept from Jump Street before we can have this discussion that in order to get what you've never had, you are going to have to do what you've never done. whenever we have an interaction with law enforcement, we either run from them, because some of us break out, like OJ through the airport. We out, gone. But the vast majority of us acquiesce. We obey. They know that when they interact with us, those are likely the two outcomes, which leaves room for them to do everything else that they want to do. They initiated the interaction. We either run and they chase us, because the stupidest thing to do with a predator is run from them. So they give chase because we activate their little predator instincts, or we roll over. And we hope they don't feel like gnawing on our bellies. The one thing that we've never done is we've never disobeyed them. I'm talking about as a collective, fam. The solution I'm talking about can only work if we all do it. We have never committed to disobeying this country, disobeying every single law in this motherfucker of anything that's not wrong in and of itself. We have not ever committed to being the fucking criminals that they say we are. Shout out to Mama Black, because my mama told me a long motherfucking time ago, give the people what they asking for. If we gonna be treated like criminals, no matter if we acquiesce to the interaction with law enforcement, right? So in other words, you could stop, pull over, put your hands on the steering wheel, have your license and registration and all that shit in a pouch right by the motherfucking air vent, roll down the window for them, say it's right there by the air vent and say, sir, an officer, and the whole 9 yards. And none of that will ensure that your ass go home.
This is a nuanced topic. The police respect SWS more in part because they know SWS will retaliate with arms. But also SWS will use us practicing the Second Amendment to Philando Castillo us.
You know what, Morpheus? I actually agree with you. So what you do is you make sure that you let them know that should they try that shit, they're not going home. The fact is that we have never put the officers truly in fear of their life. How do I know that? Because they have carte blanche to come into our neighborhoods, do whatever, whenever, to whomever, however they want. If I fear for my life, and I know that all I have to do to make sure I don't die is avoid a certain place or avoid certain interactions in certain places, guess what? I'm not going there. Right? If I'm scared that something's going to happen to me, you dig? And I know that all I have to do is just make sure I don't go to this area and the thing that I'm afraid of happening to me won't happen to me. Guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to go to that area. That just makes sense, right? That just makes sense. If you know something's likely bad to happen to you, but all you have to do is avoid the place where the shit's going to happen to you, you won't go. Well, guess what, fam? If the police are over-policing us, disproportionately locking us up for just prohibited shit that everybody in this country fucking violates willy-nilly and doesn't see the inside of a jail for, and when they have interaction with us, all the obedience that we give them in the world won't prevent them from killing us, then we need to make sure that they need to understand that there's a possibility they ain't going home from that interaction. Because when the police become afraid of us, that's when the police brutality will end. Because that brings us into the last letter, the last D, defense. Fam, we have got to commit to defense. We have got to commit to defense. We have got to commit to defense. I don't need you shooting video of my murder at the hands of police. I need you to be shooting the police. Now, I know this video is probably going to get booted off of YouTube. So please support your brother. I need for you and I to commit with each other. Like Yeshua said, where two or more are gathered, right? A thing becomes what it is. We need to commit to shooting these motherfuckers. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, with everything that's in me. We need to commit to making sure that whether they're apparatus of the state or whether they just white folks that feel like they can police Negroes, all of them can get it. All of them. All of them. There are no innocents. You think because you live in a neighborhood and black people walking through your neighborhood that you could just walk out in your front yard and start pointing guns at people walking past your house? Nope. Not if we adopt the dad model. Not if we start putting dad punishment down. That ain't gonna happen. We will know that we are on the verge of seeing the end of police brutality when we shoot back isn't a motto, but it's just simply a reality. Now, there are those who will say what I'm saying is controversial. That's all right. Because, you see, we've established that lawlessness is the order of the day. There are no laws that bound all of us. There's no equal justice anywhere, especially not for us. You will have the justice you take. Yep, I saw that toolbox. I saw it. Hell, I've had that happen to me. The dad model means simply three things. Number one, we stop providing cover for everybody else by allowing ourselves to be the working machinery of law enforcement. What do I mean by that? They say we the criminals, and that's what justifies law enforcement, okay? But the fact is that everybody's committing crime. We're just the ones that they're looking out at, right? We're the ones they're looking for to commit crimes. You dig? Okay? So by us pretending that the law actually means something and working our asses off to obey it, we allow the police to continue to come into our neighborhoods justifying their presence and allowing everybody else to just run roughshod. Everybody else get a pass. They don't have to worry about if they commit crimes in their neighborhood because all the police is where the niggas is at. And why are the police where we are? Because we the only motherfuckers that'll actually obey them. We the only ones that when they try to pull us over, we actually pull over. White folk will run. Hell, white folk will pull over, get out they motherfucking car, run to a police cruiser, jump in that bitch, and take off. Don't nobody else obey them motherfuckers. Don't nobody else obey the law. Nobody. They obey it if they feel like it. They obey the law if they feel like it. If it's okay with them this day. White folks drink moonshine like niggas do. White folks smoke weed like niggas do. White folks fuck with prostitutes and whores like niggas do. White folks spray paint bullshit on walls just like niggas do. Everybody does every goddamn thing they accuse us of doing, but yet we're the only motherfuckers policed for doing it. Because we the easy targets. We the soft targets. We the soft targets. The police know when they come up in our neighborhood, they don't have to be scared of us. We scared of them. All of us. We scared as fuck. Police pull up behind us. We scared, petrified. I say we because I mean me too. White folks get pulled over by the motherfucking cops. They get mad. Fuck is he pulling me over for? I got someplace to be. And they don't hesitate to tell him. Morpheus said they have the protection of the system of white supremacy. I would argue, fam, and I will give you that.
They have the protection of the system of WS, though.
I will give you that. Now, I'll tell you something that we probably have not considered. I'm not saying you have, but follow me on this one. How much protection is there for them if we, as a people, as a tribe, aim to misbehave? How many laws and rules has America passed throughout its history of its interactions with us out of fear of us should we ever decide to put down the pen, to put down the spoken word, and pick up the gun? Because we can say what we like, but the fact is that America can't kill all of us. They can try, but they can't do it. If they could have done it, fam, they would have done it a long time ago. When we gonna wake up and realize that if America wanted us all dead immediately, they could have done it a long time ago. No, what they do is they terrorize us. They terrorize us so that we think.
Look at disproportionate sentencing stats.
What about them, Morpheus? You know, I'll put it to you like this. The odds are kind of with us. When you look at the closure rates for violent crimes.
Excellent point.
When you look at the closure rates, this means arrest, conviction, and sentencing for violent crimes in this country. I'm sorry, but I think the odds are with you that you can shoot the shit out of one of these motherfuckers and get completely away with it. The only problem is that as it stands now, when we commit crimes, we got other black people that sell us out to the motherfucking polls. You don't believe me? Y'all remember the Chicago 4? Those 4 young folk that was drinking with that little white boy, cut his hair and all, playing a little smacky face. How many of y'all know the outcome of the cases with the Chicago 4? How many of y'all know how much time they got? Because they got time. They didn't get football numbers, luckily, but they got time. The oldest one was sentenced to 8 years in prison for playing smacky face with a white boy drunk and cutting his hair. The youngest one got 5. And the others got sentences in between 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I agree, Morpheus. And I'll tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you that what I'm saying here now won't mean shit unless we all get on board. It won't mean shit. If any of us individually tried to do what Mark Black is talking about in this video today, we'd be where Morpheus is talking about. We'd be locked up doing football numbers. But we gotta start changing up the game. We gotta be like daddies in this motherfucker.
Not enough of us are on code yet, Emo. They can target the on-code defiant and get away with it. That's why I praise Haiti. They eliminated the shines.
Yep. And I, in my own way, right now, am issuing warning to my people, to our tribe. If we don't commit to what I'm talking about today, we will not see the end of police brutality. What we will see is a nicer, more veneer, more, we'll see a marble veneer covering on the counter rather than an actual marble countertop. We won't see a replacement that'll give us functionality, that'll give us safety, that'll give us protection. What we will see is symbolism, window dressing, reform. And meanwhile, more of our brothers and sisters' blood will cry out to us from the ground. Queen Jet, I'm a military veteran. Why do you think I'm talking about this shit? Because the facts is that we still stuck on making sure that black people are respectable in some way to white folks. Even the most hardcore OG gangster ass niggas is still stuck on that respectability shit. There is not an insubstantial number of us that believe that there is literally something that we can do to actually make white people not be white people to us. We actually are still under the misapprehension that there is something that we can actually do to influence whitest to not white. Now, when you say it out loud, it sounds completely nonsensical. You're like, what the fuck? There's no way white folks are going to be white folks. Of course they are. But there is still a huge amount of black people, some of the hardest black people you know or you think you know, will roll over and throw your ass under the bus to obey the white folks. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. See, fam, another reason why this black on black crime shit is a deflection? The reason why that shit's a deflection, fam, is because, believe it or not, if we do what I'm suggesting that we do today, we can eliminate a lot of the crime in our neighborhoods.
Some PPL cry when PPL like me go in on our PPL who tap dance. Focus that on the man nah. We have to learn from the constant inner sabotage.
That's facts. Fam, how many of you would be willing to deal with these motherfuckers who hurt our community if you knew that you could do it and there was no consequences for it? Papa one in the chat if you know a neighborhood that you would love to go and help clean up. A neighborhood where you go in there and you give one warning. This shit that's been happening over here ain't gonna happen no more. Because the next time it happens, somebody disappearing. Papa one in the chat if you had that thought in your mind at some point. I have. Now, let me ask you a question. In an era of lawlessness, who becomes the law? In an era of lawlessness, who becomes the law? Shout out to Queen Jet Black. You and I are the law. And we are the ones that say what happened and how it happened. And so we, the people, need to be the biggest guns. So that when people come into our neighborhoods, whether they live here or not, whether they're members of our tribe or not, they are going to understand very quickly one simple fact. We can live in peace. We can live with each other in harmony. We can hug, kiss, barbecue, dance, fuck, make babies, do all of it. The moment you step the fuck out of line, you ain't got to worry about the police. You see, fam, it's interesting how they try to keep us disarmed to justify the need for the police. Exactly. Morpheus is spot on right. It's a nothing burger. We don't hardly really have that much criminal activity going on in our neighborhoods.
But crime is a nothing burger. While crime is at 84%, 98% of our PPL never commit a violent crime. Sociology has long proven crime is raised with poverty.
Fact. Now, we still fighting to address the poverty piece through our justice claim. But if you're that worried about black on black crime, I would think you'd be encouraging every black person you know to be tooled up. I can address crime right there on the spot. Fuck I need the police for. And guess what? Criminals, the few criminals there are, the few just rabid motherfucking bootlick white supremacists in our neighborhoods that want to commit crimes and victimize our own people, them few motherfuckers will learn real quick. You got one time. We know where you live at. We know where you eat. Keep fucking up and see what happens. We don't need the motherfucking police. Not the way they being. Do we need mental health care? Yep, we do. Do we need people who are trained to help people that are having mental breaks, who are afflicted with mental illnesses such as schizophrenia, bipolar, and so on and so forth? Hell yeah, we do. We sure the fuck need that. We got black people in the hood with PTSD. The first time I smelled a dead body, I was 7. The first time I saw a motherfucker dead, I was 9. Some of us have lived in the equivalent of fucking war zones. We need mental health care in our communities. And we need every hand on board to help with that shit. We need people to come and help people when they lose their job and they're about to get evicted and they're scared and they're thinking they're going to go commit crimes to try to feed their family or to pay the rent. We need help with that. We need people who are going to come and help people enroll in school and get training for jobs and offer apprenticeships and shit. We need help with that. We don't need no motherfucking cops. From this point forward, what they need is a dad. They need a bunch of willfully disobedient, belligerent ass. I don't know why the fuck I'm over here in this neighborhood because the last time I almost didn't make it home. They need them Negroes. I got tired of pulling the motherfuckers over for speeding because everybody in that neighborhood was speeding. You know how many calls we got from the local grocery store, motherfuckers stealing food? I'm not going to Ross no more when they call me. You know how many times last week they told me somebody was in there stealing clothes? They want to police us. Get a motherfucker something to police. Run they asses ragged. Don't obey shit. Everything what ain't nailed down that ain't got your name on it belong to you. It's all a part of our justice claim anyway. The shit owed to us. Everybody else can go take it. Why not you? We sitting in the house freezing because we scared to go outside and snatch the meter off the motherfucking wall, take them little plastic tabs out and put that meter back up so we can have some lights and heat. Nigga, please. You sitting at home scared because you don't know how to take the key and go turn the motherfucking gas on so you can have the heat in the house and cook some food in your stove. Because you law-abiding. You doing it the right way. Meanwhile, everybody else is doing what I just told you to do. They want to police us. Give them something to police. Make them police us all. You want to call us criminals? We'd be the best motherfucker. You ain't seen criminality till you seen us do it. And I know this for a fact because I'm a street nigga. I done seen motherfuckers steal shit. And you, if you didn't know what the fuck you were seeing, you wouldn't know they had stolen it. That's how cold we can be. And that whole stop snitching thing, that ain't for protecting motherfuckers what victimize us. That's for protecting us when we go and lay down the motherfucking belt on America. Stop snitching to the police. You don't have to answer every motherfucking question. Stop snitching to the people at the motherfucking city hall when they ask you, oh yeah, how much water did y'all use last month? Make some shit up. If them lazy bastards what take our tax money won't come out and read a meter, is too lazy to go do that, then fuck them. They don't need to know how much water I used last month. Oh, we don't use water. We use sanitizer, so we don't owe you no bill. But thank you. Sister Alexis, I know you laughing. It sounds crazy. But fam, the only way we are going to be able to end, not ameliorate, not soften police brutality, but to end it, is to make it to where it costs the motherfuckers too much to fuck with us. There's 3 ways we do that. Number 1, disobey every goddamn law that isn't something that's horrible bad. And I mean every fucking law. If there is no goddamn law for everybody, then there's no law for nobody. Fuck the social contract. There ain't no social contract with me. I ain't signed on to shit. I don't get no loyalty when I work on a job. I don't get no safety when I move from point A to point B. I don't get no peace in my own home. Fuck your social contract. That shit null and void. From now on, Mark Black and anybody that I can influence, we aims to misbehave. You want to police? Let's play police. I'll give your ass something to police. But I can't promise you that you'll get to finish the game. Not no more. You don't get to move your pieces around through my neighborhood and then take your pieces off of the board when you done playing. You don't get to bring your ball to my community, think you can kick it around in everybody's face and in everybody's yard and then pick up your ball and go home. Nope, we busting your ball and busting your ass. That's the facts. I would say I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but I'm not. You want to end police brutality in our community? This is the way you do it. You stop obeying the fucking laws. When they try to pull you over, run. And if you can't get away, stop until you can get away. And don't let them put hands on you. And if you see them putting hands on your people, I don't want you shooting video. If you're going to shoot anything. When the motherfuckers are too scared to come into our neighborhoods, when they say, nope, I'm not going over there and patrol on the south side no more. I'm cool. Then we won't have to worry about police brutality no more. I can promise you that. Because a very famous white person said, that when the government fears the people, there is liberty. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. You know who said that? Tommy Jefferson. We don't need the motherfucking cops. We don't want them. We don't need them. What we need, we're going to start to demand what we need. We need mental health care. We need economic resources. We need opportunities to grow our own businesses, to have jobs, to have safety, to have peace. We demand all of that. You can keep your motherfucking police, and if you send them over to us, we're sending them back gift wrapping in a box. That's real talk. You want to end police brutality, fam? Here's your answer. Here's an answer on how to do it. Work them motherfuckers like dogs. Make the police tired when they leave. We done committed so much shit. They don't even know what they don't know their asshole from a hole in the ground. They trying to run this way and that way at the same time. And when they come to interact with you, don't let them interact with you. Run. If you don't want to interact with them, you don't want to fight them, you don't want to end up possibly sending one of them home and wrapped in a box, that's cool. Run. Get the fuck away from them. They need to be scared as fuck to come see us. Just like they scared as fuck to go in white folks' neighborhoods. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I had to pull you over. You were going just a little bit over the speed limit. I just wanted to give you a warning. That's all. You're scared as fuck in white neighborhoods. Why? Because they pull a white motherfucker over, white people shoot cops. Oh, yeah. They try to tell us that Micah and Cosmo and Christopher and Mark Essex and all the rest of them was monsters because they killed police officers, allegedly. White folks shoot police officers all the motherfucking time. And the more rural the community, the more likely white folks are to shoot the motherfucking police. You have rural communities where there's one fucking police officer for a whole goddamn county. And guess what? He's the nicest motherfucker you ever want to meet. He ain't enforcing shit he don't have to enforce. I'm not bullshitting you, fam. You know why? Because if he get to enforcing too much shit, guess what? One day he don't make it back home. And anybody that come there asking questions, and everybody be like, I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. Wouldn't that be something if Keisha Bootlick Bottoms sent their police over in the motherfucking neighborhoods, over in Bankhead, and some of them didn't make it back to the precinct, and she sent people over there asking questions, and the only answer she got was, I didn't even see him come over here. Who are you talking about? Oh, some cops disappeared? What you mean? Wow, it's a crazy world we live in. Maybe they at their mistress' house. Wouldn't it be some shit if Lori licked their ass Lightfoot in Chicago, sent their motherfucking peoples over on the south side, and the motherfucking cops didn't make it back to the precinct? So she's sending the motherfucking investigators over there to answer questions, and people are like, what? They came over here? Really? What for? What was that all about? What you mean they didn't come back? Did y'all check all the bars? Did you check the donut shops? I ain't seen no police. They are going to symbolize, dither, hem and haw, promise, tap dance, beg you to accept everything that will ensure that the cops can still be able to kill you. They have made that clear. There's no substantive any goddamn thing they have done to prevent the next murder of a police officer or murder of us at the hands of a police officer. As a matter of fact, since George and Breonna's deaths, we've seen more black people be killed by police. We chanting no justice, no peace, but we still getting killed by police. Black Lives Matter won't chant that at their next rally, will they? No justice, no peace. We still getting killed by police. Before I open up the lines, I used to be a people pleaser real bad. I'm gonna share something personal. I used to have no self-esteem, fam. None. Right? Like, I thought that everybody and everything was better than me. I didn't like the way I spoke. I didn't like the way I dressed. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I talked. I didn't like shit about me. And so I would engage with quite a few people. And invariably, shit would be fucked up. I'd get used, disrespected, get my character maligned. Most of my interactions with people in my 20s and early 30s were hell. And I remember one day, I was talking to my mama. And fam, I'm not gonna lie, I was in a bad place. I was thinking about killing my goddamn self. And I ran down to my mama, what my life was like, how I was feeling, what I was going through, tears running down my face, fam. I ain't ashamed to admit it. And my mama sat there and listened. She a good woman. And she said, when I was done, she said, son, do you want all of that to stop? Do you want to be able to feel good about yourself, to be able to have good relationship with folks, to be able to think of yourself as a worthy human being? Do you want all of that? She said, do you want all the pain to stop, all the shit to go away? Crying like a baby, I'm shaking my head. Yes, mama. Yes. I want this all to stop. I'm tired. Can't deal with this no more. My mother said to me the most powerful words a black woman could ever say to her child, to any black man. She said, son, it'll stop when you want it to. No sooner than that. She said, when you're ready for it to stop, it will. You know what, fam? My mama was right. I was 31 finally. Black man, 31 years old. But she was right. When I finally said, nope, this ain't it. I ain't living like this no more. I don't give a fuck what anybody got to say. I'm all right. I like me. Fuck you motherfuckers. I'm going to have people around me that treat me with kindness, respect. Why? Because I ain't having nothing else. I'm going to have people who have my interests in heart. Why? Because I'm not having nothing else. It stopped when I wanted it to. The murders of our people, the murders of our brothers and sisters whose blood cries out to us from the ground for justice will stop when we want it to. And not a moment sooner. When we're done with one more death, when that's it, when we are finished, fam, your brother won't have to tell you what to do. I won't have to do videos like this. I won't have to talk about this subject. I promise you that. When our people are finally done being subjected to the brutality of deputized law enforcement and vigilante white citizens, it'll be over with. I can promise you that. And why will it be over with? Because we will not accept it. There will be no means off the table to stop it from happening. No means. Nothing I say will be controversial. Nothing I say will be untoward, out of the way. Nothing I say will be radical. When we're finally done, when we're really done with police brutality, not this fake don't kill us as much shit. Not this, okay, well, you can kill some of us as long as you get the rest of us jobs. No, when our people are finally done with police brutality, with vigilante brutality on our people, this shit will be over with because we won't accept it. When they try to come to us, you won't need to be told what to do. You will know what to do. Just like when I finally accepted what my mother had to say, nobody had to tell me how to change my life. I knew exactly how to change it. Everybody that was in it that was toxic had to go. No questions asked, no discussion, no nothing. Fuck you. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You done had a free ride long enough. You're done. Goodbye. Good riddance. Don't call. Don't write. Fuck off and die. And then when I was finally alone, because that was pretty much everybody in my motherfucking life, I then rebuilt. And I was patient. I didn't just accept the first motherfucking thing. Oh, Mark, you all right, man. You good people. You nice, man. Can we hang out? Nope. I need to see your motherfucking paperwork. I need to check your credentials. Man or woman, I'm taking my motherfucking time. I can count the number of true friends now that I have on one hand. But they solid. Solid as a motherfucking rock. I don't have to guess. I don't have to wonder. I know what they're about. Why is that? Because I won't have it no other way. They either are like that or they're gone. You don't want the motherfucking police killing you, fam? Make it cost them. Not once. Every single time. Make it cost them. Be they daddy. Take the belt off. You'll whoop your kid ass for less than what the motherfucking police and vigilantes are doing to us. You will take off your belt and whoop everybody in your household with it for less. But you'll let these motherfuckers come up here and murder you and you still trying to obey their rules, their laws? What the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Play the game just like everybody else playing it. If there's no laws that's for everybody, then law is optional. Obeying these motherfuckers is an option should I choose to do so. And if I don't choose to do so, woe betide you if you try to make me. You remember them white folks that took over that motherfucking federal park up in the Northwest? The Bundy people? They got pardoned, don't you know? They got away with that shit. And I know they got some white privilege. They protected by white supremacy for now. But I guarantee you, when we're tired, when we're ready to end this shit, we will. 425-296-1980 is the number, fam. I want to hear from you. Y'all was talking in the chat, and y'all was saying a lot of good stuff, but I want to hear from you. This shit will end, fam, when you're ready for it, too, and not a moment before. Real talk. 425-296-1980 is the number. I won't keep y'all too long if there's no calls or whatever, fam. I hope you guys are having a great motherfucking Saturday. I hope y'all avoiding the Rona. This shit is wild out here, man. Black man, I be worried about you, fam. If I didn't know you lived in the sticks, I'd be scared as fuck for you because Texas is going through it right now. Let me go back and read some of y'all's comments. Yep, Ross does. Almost right. Ross got many thieves, boy. Yep. Body armor and firearms. Queen Jet Black is on it. But of course, I knew she would be. Yeah, they need to be scared to come up in our neighborhood. Do I think Black America should ask for a law stating that police who kill a black person without justification should automatically get the death penalty? No, I don't. Jet Black, I don't think we should ask for that law. I think we should give them the death penalty. I don't think we should leave it to the motherfucking courts. That's part of what I've been discussing this whole time. We can't count on justice in their courtrooms. Nope, fuck that. We want justice, we gotta take it. Police kill one of us, we need to kill one of them. I don't give a fuck how that sound. Yep, Jim Crow Joe punk ass. I can't stand that fool, man. John is right. He said revoke qualified immunity on the streets. Fam, you and me, right? Brothers from another mother, I'm telling you. Because that's where I think all this law passing, you forget, fam. I need y'all to understand something. Before I take a call, I need y'all to understand something real quick. Stand by. Sorry about that, fam. I'm back. So let me ask y'all a question real quick. Right? Because we talk about all the different laws and shit and rules and stuff like that that they could pass and all the different reforms. Do you think that the knee that Derek Chauvin put on George Floyd's neck was legal? I really want to ask y'all that. Is there anybody here that believes that what he did was legal? Can y'all pop a one in the chat or something? Or, give me some feedback. Anybody that think that what Derek Chauvin did was legal? Was it legal or illegal? Anybody? Can I get a woo woo? Was it legal or illegal? Black man, I think too, he's saying it was illegal. Okay. Right? Anybody else think it was illegal? I really want to know. So, Michael, you say it's legal? Okay. Black man said not legal. You say legal? I think it was illegal. I don't know. I'm not 100% on what the law was in jurisdiction and where he lived, right? Or where he was operating as a peace officer. Did the fact that it was illegal stop him from doing it? Peter Liang discharged his firearm in a dark stairwell, killing a Kai Gurley. Was that legal or illegal? It was obviously illegal. Did it stop him from doing it? Every time, fam, we talk about the law. They say we need to change the laws. We need to change the rules to make it to where they can't do this shit. Fam, they don't give a fuck about the law. The cops don't care about the law. You could pass a law tomorrow that mandates that cops do not kill anybody. And with the penalty that if they kill anybody, it's an automatic death penalty. and cops will still kill black people. Why? Because murderous cops don't give a fuck that murder's illegal. What part? See, this is what I'm saying, black folk. We be thinking that people think like we do. We think of something illegal that you ain't gonna do it. Why? Because it's illegal. Nobody else in this country thinks like that. They don't give a fuck if it's legal or not. All they care about is what are the risks and can I get away with it? And they do a calculus. They measure it out, pros and cons. Okay, if I give this bank this faulty ass paperwork, what's the consequences if they catch me? Okay, they'll make me pay the loan back. They might sue me. Okay, but what's the consequences if they don't catch me? Well, I can get 50 racks? Fuck that shit. Where the paperwork at? Don't nobody give a fuck about the law, fam. We the only ones. This is why we can sit here. This is why they can sit here with a straight face and tell us about all the plans they have for reform, because they know that no matter what rules or laws they pass, it ain't gonna stop murderous cops from murdering us. The only thing that's gonna stop murderous cops from murdering us is if we kill them motherfuckers before they murder us. If we make it cost them so much that they scared to do it. They don't give a fuck about the law. They don't care about the law. It don't matter if it's illegal. It don't matter if it's against the rules. You think Pantaleo gave a fuck that the chokehold was banned in New York when he choked out our brother Eric Garner in New York? No. They could have waved the rule book right there in Pantaleo's face and he wouldn't have gave a fuck. He still choked our brother out. He didn't care about the rules. He don't care about the law. The cops don't give a fuck about your laws. They don't give a damn about your laws. So all this talk of reform and defunding and all this and that and the third. You know what, Morpheus? If they take it down, I'll just start another one. Fuck them. But one thing they're not going to stop me from doing is telling the truth. The police continue to kill us because there's no consequences. They don't care about the rules. They circumvent the rules all the time. And then they got unions and then they got mayors and shit that do cover-ups for them. So it don't matter what the rules say. It don't matter what reforms they pass. If they're not going to obey them, then what the fuck is the point in taking all that time and wasting all those resources and passing all these rules and writing all these laws that they ain't going to obey? You got the governors in states telling citizens that they have to wear masks. And then what do you got? You got sheriffs going on national TV saying, I ain't enforcing that shit. So now what? The governors say, this the rules, where everybody got to wear a mask. But the motherfuckers who's supposed to enforce the rules say they're not going to enforce it. So now what? Now what happens? What are you going to do? Replace the sheriff? The sheriff's elected. So they enforce the laws they want to enforce. They enforce the rules they want to enforce on the people they want to enforce them upon. So just like everybody else in America, we have to make it to where it is distasteful for them to be over here enforcing a bunch of bullshit on us. Man, I'm gonna go over there where the white folks are, where it's easy pickings. (425-296-1980) is the number, fam. I need us to get this legal, illegal shit out of our head. We need to get off of the reform shtick. It's a shtick. Believe it or not, these governors and these mayors and these city councils are laughing in our fucking faces that we're sitting here legitimately giving any credence to the idea of them doing anything but keeping the motherfucking cops out of our neighborhood. I don't want to defund them. I want them to go the fuck away. We don't need the police. They're not obligated to protect and defend us. They ain't protecting and defend us. Fuck them. I don't want them. Send us mental health care. Send us people who can, de-escalate a domestic violence situation. Send us some people that can help when somebody's having a mental health crisis. Send us somebody who, when somebody's struggling and about to go commit a crime, send us somebody who can help with that shit. Better yet, send us some resources. We can fix that shit ourselves. I don't want your symbolism. I don't want your window dressing. Fuck your laws. Fuck your reform bills. I don't need any of that. My people don't need any of that. Because as soon as a cop say, oh, but I was scared of the big angry black man, and your ass is dead, who's going to speak for you? All the rules and all the motherfucking guidelines on what's legal, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, what's right, what's not right goes out of the window the moment they say, but I was scared. I thought he was going to kill me. Darren Wilson described our brother Mike Brown as like a black Hulk. Little bitch ass white boy described our 17-year-old brother like he was a goddamn monster. And that's why he had to kill him. So y'all go ahead and buy on into that shit that they passing new laws and they gonna add new penalties in it. Nope. I don't trust none of it. Until I see a motherfucking cop laying up on a gurney with a needle in his arm, riding that motherfucker on up out of here, or with a rope around his neck, standing up on a scaffold, or sitting in a motherfucking electric chair or a gas chamber. Until I see that, I don't believe shit they talking about. There ain't no laws they can pass that's gonna placate me. There's no goddamn rules and reform that they can create that's gonna bring me peace. That's gonna bring peace for them. They either stop killing us, or it is what it is. Because right now, I fear for my life. And just like they got the right to defend theirs, I got the right to defend mine. I fear for my people's life. I don't trust no motherfucking police. I don't want them around my people. There ain't no police officer, black, white, or whatever. There's no blue life that can be trusted around black life. Sorry, not sorry. Let me see if I can. I thought I had Skype open, fam. Let me make sure that it's straight. Because my computer been giving me fits recently. And I definitely want to hear what you got to say, fam. Give me just a moment. Yep.
The What About Bob Prime Ninjas will speak for us.
Yep, absolutely. Let them niggas talk. Bootlicks. Hold on, black man. I'm trying to fix this thing, man. What up, Grinch? My inestimable brother Grinch, the Almighty, the Grinch God is in the house. Fam, I'm trying to just wake folk up, man. Like I said, I know that what I said today sound controversial to some of y'all. Got you kind of all feeling some sort of way or whatever the case may be. But I'm here to tell you, fam, it'll stop when we want it to stop. The problem is, really, truth be told, fam, when it comes to police brutality, the fact is that the police fear the same thing that white folks have always feared. They fear that one day we will not acquiesce, we will not obey. Right? Think about the slave patrols. Right? Think about the patty rollers. Right? Go with me on a trip in your mind with the ancestors. All right? The patty rollers were deputized by the authorities in the area, right? The governors, because there wasn't no sheriffs and shit. For 100 years, America didn't have no police. And Americans got along just fucking fine, right? They only needed police when it came to protecting property. Like, that's police's only job, is to defend property. Think about the patty rollers. Their job was to go after runaways and bring those pieces of human property back to their owners, by hook or by crook. Now, if they had to hurt you to bring you back, they didn't hesitate. It was easier if you acquiesced. Here's something to note. There was nothing that you could ever do, though, that would stop them from taking you back to Massa. There were no pleas you can make. There were no positions you could assume. There were no actions that you could take short of ending the patty rollers that were coming after you to prevent you from being taken back to Massa. Are y'all following me? Is this thing on? Am I making any sense? There was no thing that our ancestors could tell the patty rollers that would let them continue to run free. There was no way they could dress. There was no pleas claiming that they shared the same religion, that God don't like ugly. There were no words they could say. No position they could assume. No stance of peace they could take that would prevent the slave catchers from taking them back to Massa. There is no position that you can take. There's no hobby that you have, right? There's no affiliation that you're a part of. There's no God that you worship. There is nothing about you that, when murderous law enforcement comes for your life, will stop them from taking it, except to take theirs before they take yours. Nothing. And the sooner we understand that, the easier all of this becomes, right? There's a lot of angst in our community. How do we address this issue? How do we address police brutality? How do we address vigilante violence against our people, right? You've got, look, I don't want to come off like an asshole, but you've got good, upstanding, good black folk who are legitimately concerned about this epidemic of violence upon our people, from other groups, who can't sleep at night because they're scared that when they go out of their house the next day and they have an interaction with law enforcement, that they're going to end up dead. Good folk, working folk, honest folk, hard loving, hard playing, beautiful, amazing black folk, right? I'm not talking about niggas that y'all just want to throw away, because I don't throw away none of you. I'm not talking about the black people you don't like. I'm talking about the black people you do like, that are legit wondering, how do we address this shit? And nobody has the heart to tell them that everything that we've done so far won't address it. All the pleading, the marching, the protesting, the begging, the dressing, the hobbies, the places we go, the places we eat, none of that shit. If they want to kill you, they're going to kill you. Unless you stop them before they kill you. And since we don't know who the bad apples are, since they claim it's only a few bad apples, then all of them are bad apples. Just like they can't seem to understand that not all black people commit crime, that there's just black on black crime and we the biggest criminals. Well, fine. I can't understand no good apples then. I don't see no good apples. There ain't no motherfucking good cops. Since I can't tell the good cops from the bad cops, fuck all of them. Fam, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I can't get the Skype to work. And I apologize, fam. I didn't mean to talk at y'all. Y'all know this is not my broadcast. This is ours. Yeah, black man, I wasn't able to get it fixed. The program won't open up. But don't worry, man. I'm going to have it straight for the next time. I tried to check all this shit before we even got started. And I missed that. I'm only human, fam. I ask your forgiveness. I ask your forbearance. And I thank you for your patience with me. Fam, I will be broadcasting again next Saturday. We're going to talk about some more shit. But fam, share this one. We need to all be disobedient as fuck. We need to let this respectability shit go. Get away with whatever you can get away with because everybody else is already. Everybody else is doing it already. You the only one here still thinking that the law means something, that they'll pass a rule or a law and that's what's going to protect you. No, the only thing that's going to protect you is you and me. At the end of the day, all the rules, all the laws they pass, it's not going to mean shit when they come for your life if I'm not there to defend you or you're not there to defend yourself. Disobey. Arm yourself. Arm up. And be willing to use them shits by hook or by crook, fam. And you will see police brutality come to an end, in my humble opinion. Don't do it, and we will count more bodies. I love you all, fam. Thank you again so much for taking the time to come and join your brother today. I appreciate my angry black sheep as always. Y'all are the reason why I do everything I do. And I just hope that everything that I can give you edifies, that it uplifts you, that it makes us better tomorrow than we were yesterday. Our people, our tribe deserve the very best of what America and the world has to offer. And I aims to see us get it. And there ain't no option off the table for me to make sure I get it for you and for me. So fam, until next time, as always, I want to wish you all love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.